Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore positive. We are positively taking the Maryland Crab Cake Tour back out on the road in March. Begins on the 6th. We'll be at Fadley's. Even though I'm wearing my State Fair shirt, we're going to get to there. The Magic 8 Ball, the Maryland Lottery tickets, we'll have these to give away. I have some Monopoly. They're kind of shimmery. I don't have them yet to give away, but I will by the end of the month. By the end of the month, we will have traveled to Essex and Pizza John's on the 21st, as well as on the 30th of April. We're going to be at Coco's again. And we're going to be at Fadley's a whole bunch during baseball season, beginning on April 2nd when the Boston Red Sox come to town. And I am setting these things up way ahead of time, allows me to get more folks out, do better things. And I've been doing this a long time. So it's a 26th year of doing this. I'm trying to come up with 27 great ideas for the summer, and I have come up with a way I'm going to do that. But there's so many people I've touched over all these years at WNST, and some of them have kids who were interns who are now doing things. I have a former intern here who runs all of the Kelsey empire, the Jason Kelsey empire. And she's from Pikesville and she's cool. Shout out to Emily. So I meet people in the by and by everywhere here and I pick people up. But Brian Felderstein hit me. Ethan was around here many, many moons ago, probably feels like it doesn't, but it's probably been more like 15. I don't know. Hard to keep up with these kids today. But there is an event going on at the Baltimore Hebrew congregation presenting, and it's a Broadway thing. And I just told this great story to my pal John Allen over some wings on Sunday about how the coolest thing that I've ever experienced and all the things I've experienced might have been Bryan Cranston doing network on Broadway. So I'm a Broadway guy. I relish my part in Pippin and the Fantastics back in the day. So I love shows, and they're putting the show on. It's Saturday, March 22nd, and it involves Broadway star John Rapson. It also involves someone who I've never met that I really want to meet, and I would geek out a little bit. And I tried to support her political issues a couple of years ago, and I couldn't connect the dots. Rain Pryor is going to be involved in this. She's the host, of course, daughter of the great Richard Pryor, director, writer, and actor. BHCpresents.com. It's Broadway on Park Heights Avenue. It is Saturday, March 22nd, and here to be the official engagement spokesperson is Jillian Manko. A pleasure to have you, but they threw you at me, and I mean, we'll get Rain, we're going to get everybody else, but they said you were the storyteller for how to tell this story, for how we're going to get some folks over. And I must admit that I went to a community show at NDP. They did Pippin last year, and I've been telling my wife for 21 years, and it was 2 miles from where I live, and I'm like, we're going over there. So I am a big supporter of the community thing, and I'm delighted to have you on Talking Some Things. What's going on?
I am so excited to be here. I am also a huge fan of everything Baltimore. I am Baltimore born and raised, um, and just love being part of the Baltimore world and community. I am just happy to be here.
Well, we get an event, and they put you in front of this. And I guess questions first. The Baltimore Hebrew congregation, established in 1830, says so on the flyer, presents Broadway on Park Heights. And is this an annual thing that you do? And I mean, I'm familiar with the Baltimore Hebrew congregation. Maybe not everyone is. So we're going to educate a lot of folks here in this segment about that. But for any community event anywhere in town, putting on shows, putting on performances, showing off young people, doing all, I see these kids that play like School of Rock stuff. There's just all sorts of cool things that are happening that aren't, no offense, Ravens, Orioles, Justin Tucker, opening day, costing a lot of money, even concerts that I go to. There are things happening here that are very, very organic and of our community and by our community, that are supported in our community in all sorts of ways that are incredibly artistic. And I saw it with my own eyes last year when I went out and saw these kids doing Pippin. And I'm like, man, I was wildly entertained for whatever 10 or 12 bucks they charged me or whatever it was that night.
That's right. So, Baltimore Hebrew, we're almost 200 years old. And the reason that we've made it this far is because we've always supported our community and the people within it. This event particularly is a celebration of our community. We do annual fundraisers each year to support our school systems. We have E.B. Hirsch Early Childhood Center, which is our preschool. I happen to have a 2-year-old in the preschool there, and she loves it. It is her happy place. And it also
That was
supports.
my happy place too. Drinking Cloverland milk and getting cookies,
If
taking
I could
naps.
go to preschool, like
God,
I
Miss
would
Wassel,
totally
where
do
have you
that.
gone? Yeah, my kindergarten teacher's alive, and I've been trying to track her down. You're giving me notes here of people I need to go track down and
You
thank
have
her.
to track them down. You have to thank them. So much stems from your early childhood center, and we are super lucky to have a fantastic one. Yeah, and then I
I
also
talk
have
a lot about that. I had John Hoey from the Y on just talking about what's going on federally and what's going on with kids and how important it is. So, like, the first thing you talk about is Baltimore Hebrew Congregation. We take care of children. And I'm like, cool. If that's the lead story, then that's a great lead story.
That's right. So funny enough, the Felderstein family, who connected us,
Well, they're sports
they
people,
they're
Ethan.
sports people, but they're
Yeah.
a family, and they started within the BHC Baltimore Hebrew Congregation system and day school and school back when we had a day school, and
So they went
knowing
there. No wonder Ethan turned out so good.
that's right, that's exactly it.
See?
Ethan has actually been key in this event also. He's helped us beyond measure
Is
with
he
our
still 17, 18? How old is he now?
he is timeless. Probably
Ageless.
exactly. He's probably somewhere between 28 and 30.
No, he's got to be. No, it's been longer than that. I'd have to go through my notes, but I mean, I feel like I've known that family a long, long time for sure.
They're phenomenal. They have just been key in so much of what we've done with this event. They've helped bring in rain. Actually, one of the producers is their niece. This is a fantastic family that has just been all over and super helpful over the past, gosh, like almost a year of bringing this event to BHC. And it's because they know how wonderful our education has been, both for their family. We also have Jewish Learning at BHC, which is our Sunday morning school. I've got an 8-year-old there also, and an 11-year-old who's also at in JLab, and she'll be in our next gen teen program
Hold
soon,
on. So
which is
you have
just
an 8 and an 11. You have any other kids? No,
I have a
two.
2 in the preschool. I have an 8-year-old, and I've got an 11-year-old.
And you're bringing this kind of energy to me right now.
That's right. That's right.
I can't fathom, the amount of chasing that goes in. And on the 22nd of the month, we're going to be doing this Broadway on Park Heights Avenue. Is this an ensemble sort of thing, or is there a show called Broadway on Park Heights that's been
So
written?
this
Because
is an ensemble. So this is what so Hannah Rosenthal is a Baltimore native who is she's amazing. She's piecing this show together with Hane as the writer, leader, and host performer. We've got John Rapson from Broadway. He's been in Les Mis, he's been a ton of other things. And we're gonna have our students performing. They're training to perform out like before the show even starts. We've got Baltimore's best bakeries coming in. We've got like Vaqueros. We've got all sorts of people from Stone Mill Bakery. We've got Rosendorf's. We have bakers from all around town pitching in to bring the best desserts possible.
desserts bring me in.
Desserts,
Vaqueros did my wedding with the cannoli and the incredible tiramisu that I got to get back down there again. I'm going this week, so I'm going to sneak in there. Rosendorf's now we get the challah bread. We
yes,
make all of our French I mean, big fat challah bread, and
huge.
man, it's all neat. Oh, it's the best in the world. And then
It
Stone
is
Mill,
so good.
if they bring their morning biscuits, they do buttermilk biscuits. Ridiculous.
Amazing. Those biscuits, and they have this chocolate sauce. If next time you go, you have to try whatever they're putting the chocolate on, just ask them. It's to die for.
Hold on a second. I stopped the segment right now. I could be over there 10 minutes, right? And it's still
I'll meet
breakfast
you
for
there.
me.
Give me 15 and I'll meet you there.
I'm all about it, man. I mean, if you got good stuff like that. So what? So this is a night of different performances, correct?
It is a total celebration of BHC, our educators, our families, our community.
But it's not a Broadway show. That's okay.
The
Gotcha. Okay.
actual, so the actual show will be Broadway and music, but the whole evening is just a celebration of our food, our community, our music. We're gonna have a silent auction with like luxury watches from the Sal Baltimore Watch Company. We've got high-end jewelry from Misha and Company, show tickets to Everyman, Hippodrome, the Lyric. We've got gourmet dining from like Linwood's, Tarks, Stanford Kitchen, golfing through Woodhome Country Club, Brew at the Zoo, the Gumtree Club. We've got a crazy silent auction. Actually, there were places down the ocean, hun. We have like a down at the ocean package with eateries, golf, different experience when families go to the beach or when you go to the beach by yourself, if you ever get the chance, you and your wife.
Anyone needs tickets for this event, you can find it at bhcpresents.com. It's the Baltimore Hebrew congregation. My guest is Jillian Manko. She threatened to talk some Ravens and some Orioles with me, but I told her we're going to stay on Broadway, on Broadway. Now, are you a Broadway person? I mean, I asked someone now who's already told me 3 kids, all that like, but I'm also I love New York. I love going to New York. So when I see Broadway, it has a different connotation for me than maybe even just Joe Namath or something like that, or even the New York Rangers and things that I would do in New York. But I love going to Broadway shows. I mean, I've seen Springsteen on Broadway and different things like that. And sometimes it can be a little pricey, to go up. But I still think there's this magic about shows. And if I get Rain on, or if I get John Rapson, or if I talk to anybody about it, I think there's real magic in that. And living in Baltimore and being able to get on a bus for $25, or just get in your car and pay the tolls and park, or taking one of these 3 a.m. $10 trains that they tell me about that
We've
I can
got
never seem to find.
Superior Tours. It has been fantastic.
Well, no, Jeff and
There,
those guys over there for years, sure.
that's right. That's right. Superior Tours has a bus that goes right up,
Do they
and
still do it every day, or is it like 5 days? They still
I
do it
think
though,
they're
right?
over the weekend and maybe one weekday. I'd have to look into it, but they
Well, you go up
are
there and get a
also.
matinee, do it. Do
That's
it.
right. That's right. There, like you said, there's something magical about Broadway. And I actually think the Hippodrome, the Lyric, the Everyman, like we've got great shows here also locally. There's
I agree with
definite
you. So does
magic.
Ron Legler when he comes on. And I'm glad that they're contributing too. I mean, again, it's a community event where you've mentioned and you've name dropped all these places and these are businesses, these are local people that are vested, that are given to themselves to be involved in it. And I've seen this time and time again. It's why I do Baltimore Positive. It's why I don't take phone calls, just yell about baseball and football anymore. Because I'm like, there's so many good things going on that need a spotlight in different ways. And I don't know much about John Rapson. I don't even really know much about Rain Pryor, although I'm older than you, I think, by a couple of years. And the Richard Pryor thing's really, really real for me. Like Rain Pryor to me, if I got an hour with her, I would have a good time talking to her about these things. But I know she's seen and done a lot in her life, and you've got her involved as a host. So I'm assuming, based on the last name Pryor, there's going to be some comedy involved in this evening too.
She is amazing. She is like wicked smart. She actually just directed a solo show, Fried Chicken and Lockies, that has both like critical
What?
acclaim and prestigious awards. She's charismatic. She is just like a force of a human. I mean, just being near her, you
I
can
need to
feel
meet her,
her.
man. I'm telling you, I need to meet her.
You got to come. BHCpresents.com. Come to our
Doors open at 6:30, and the desserts are going to be good.
the best, Baltimore's
If I
best.
meet Rain Pryor over a Viccaro's tiramisu, or over.
That's peak. That is peak life, right? Like it doesn't get better.
I might even have some Zeke's coffee in my pocket to get this thing going. Silent auction, Best of Baltimore dessert reception. Performances at 8 o'clock. Broadway star John Rapson. And I'm reading right. You know what I'm going to do? Because we can do this on the internet these days. Is that I can actually show the actual thing. So
That's right.
Broadway, and that way people know I'm reading from it. Starring John Rapson from Broadway's Sweeney Todd. I have heard of that one. The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Les Miserables, which I've seen in 2 different countries, quite frankly.
Oh,
Might be 3 if you take our country soon. This fundraiser sustains our synagogue, schools, and the educational programs to create and inspire. And they read books over at BHC as well. So this evening, and people could scan this right now if you're watching. And Rain, John Rapson. What do I need to know about him? I don't know a whole lot, but I know like it's a score when you bring in someone that's had their names up on the marquee up at Times Square.
that's right. So John's amazing. Broadway star, like you said, Les Mis. He's going to bring all sorts of music to the night. very strong voice. I'd encourage everyone to go look him up and listen to him. He's phenomenal, even better in person. Uh, just like we were saying about Rain, he's charismatic, he's sweet, he's excited to capture the moment and bring the community together. And what brings community better more than food and music, right?
So you have a website, bhcpresents.com. This is an annual, this happens more often, this is an ongoing, does it always involve stage, theater, arts? Tell me more about some other things y'all are doing above and beyond this event here, because you're not a
Great
one-time
question.
organization working on 200 years, right?
We are not. We could not be. So yes, we've done comedy in the past. We've been bringing celebrities around town. We've had Henry Winkler. We've had Modi, who was just at the Lyric last night. Uh, Modi is phenomenal and hysterical. Last year we had Talia Reese. We had Baltimore local Jeremy Shaftel. We had Gary something, who's actually I can't remember his last name, but they were hilarious. We had the three of them together. The year before, we had Modi. We had Henry Winkler before him.
Well, the
We've
Henry
always
Winkler
been
thing,
fun.
by the way, I got to stop you on the Henry Winkler thing, okay? Take a deep breath on this. Henry Winkler once appeared on my radio station with a different
No
host.
way.
No, with a
No
different
way.
host. Okay. It may have even been around your event. I'm not even sure. Like, I'm not sure. And I noticed the Henry Winkler thing had happened here and it didn't come to me because the Felderstein family didn't tell me about it or something. I don't know. But
They 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 would have. They would
well,
have if they were part of
whatever happened, Henry Winkler was doing an event 2 weeks from now, right around like St. Patrick's Day, middle of March, maybe it's next week, at it's very similar to what you're doing, but down in the Bethesda area.
it.
And
Okay.
I caught it. I bought a ticket in like the 10th row. I was all ready to go. And then Henry had these tragedies with the fires out in LA near his house. And,
Oh,
and he's
wow.
very politically active as well, a lot of ways. Israel, America, just a lot of different things. And man, I grew up with the Fonz. Like the Fonz was one of my first true heroes in the 70s. And so he's bucket listy kind of dude for me. And I was going to try to set up to try to get him on my show to promote the thing they were doing down in the DC area. And he had to cancel. And I swear to you, in the deepest, darkest depths, there's like a Zeppelin of mortar. In the deep, like in the depth of winter, I was having like a real beer with a friend, and they're like, "What's going on in your life that's good? What are you looking forward to?" And I'm like, "Spring training. I don't know. Like I'm like, I have tickets for this Henry Winkler thing, and that's like to me, that's better than the Stones and the Bruce. I mean, whatever because I've done all that. Henry Winkler's like the Fonz, so like you had him out. I like that's a big deal, right? I mean, just in a general sense for me, and I'm a little heartbroken. So I'm holding on and I'm just saying out to the cosmos everywhere. In the same way I'm trying to get the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl to be involved with There Goes My Hero, which helped save my wife's life 12 years ago, which started all of this nasty
Wow.
Nestor nice guy stuff. But Henry Winkler, like I'd love to get him on one day. And if it was promoting what you're doing, or you could bring him back, ask him real nice again. But you guys have this is something you do. BHC presents. I'll be talking about you again next year, and you'll be doing something awesome next year too. And hopefully Rain will be involved, John Rapson will be involved, and you bring people along. But this is an ongoing thing you do.
This is an ongoing thing we do. We have tons of other community events throughout the year. This is our big annual fundraiser. And again, it supports all the teachers, our school. It supports everything we're able to do in the building and create outside of it, thanks to our community and share the love of the Baltimore community. So we're really lucky to be able to have this and support our schools and our children through this.
Jillian Manko's here. She's here on behalf of BHC, and I'm going to send everybody out to the Baltimore Hebrew congregation established in 1830. The night is Broadway on Park Heights Avenue, and I do like the logo on that with the street signs. It's Saturday, March 22nd. The doors open at 6:30. The performance is at 8, involving starring and an ensemble effort. John Rapson, Broadway star from Les Mis and Sweeney Todd, a whole bunch of different things, and Rain Pryor, who has done a chicken and Locky fried chicken. Like Someone out there, if you hear this or see this, tell Rain Pryor I need to connect with her. I want to have her on the show because I have to talk to her about fried chicken and I have to talk to her about Richard Pryor and politics and her run and all that good stuff. And of course, March 22nd. And if I don't find her before then, which gives me about 2 weeks, I will find her that night and it'll probably be over a delicious Stone Mill Bakery item or what are you doing with the Rosendorf? So they bring in some challah bread for. Are they going to do some French toast dipping thing, or like they should? If
So
they don't,
Rose,
my wife and I are going to bring our special banana rum cream thing, and we're going to do it for you. And we're going to bring some proper, I would say Vermont maple syrup. My wife's from New Hampshire, so New Hampshire maple syrup. I'm going to Canada in a couple. Well, I'm going afterwards. I can't do that. I'm going for opening day up to Toronto, so I can't bring Canadian. But I'm down with some Rosendorf's French toast if you'll let me do
I
it.
use Rosendorf for our French toast also. It is the best. And all of our sandwiches. You should know they also have a pretzel challah and their baked goods, like their desserts, are
I
phenomenal.
don't know anything about the desserts, so I'm going to get educated on this night, the 22nd.
You'll come and try their desserts. They will blow you away. They do wedding cakes, they do cookies, they do all sorts of things. They're the best.
Can I say this out loud for them
You
just as
have
a
to.
free plug? Because I didn't even know they were local or who they. I just know that it's what I get, and I've been getting it for 20 years, right? That if it's not their challah bread, we'll make pancakes. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're just gonna do something else.
Second
We're gonna
best. We'll just
yeah.
go
I mean,
second best.
I'm gonna go over to State Fair and get chicken and waffles. I'm just gonna like I'm where you're like I'm just gonna do something different because if it's not I won't do it. I'm telling you right now, because they're so big, we'll make it and then we put it in the freezer and then cut it out, slice it right off, let it get right. Oh my God.
That's genius. That's genius. Ours never make it that long. I have it on my
Well, you
counter.
got the family, you got children, you got kids, you got a kitty cat that's been trying to get. What's your kitty cat's name?
Oh, that's Luna. That's Luna. She's the fifth love of my life, I guess.
Yeah, I go
And
okay.
I've got Bojack, our treeing coonhound, who's barking upstairs because he's jealous that he can't be here with
My
us.
kitty cat bangs on the door around this hour too, looking for my Rosendorf's French toast or my
That's
Stone
right.
Mill
Yeah, she's looking for
biscuits
some
or yeah.
leftovers.
Jillian Manko has been kind enough to spend 20 minutes of her life with me. She'll never get back promoting BHCpresents.com. It is their big Broadway night, Broadway on Park Heights. It's the 22nd of the month. It involves Broadway star John Rapson. He'll be there as well as Rain Pryor, whom I definitely need to get together with. So this gave me a chance to even talk about the Fonz. You know what I mean? Like I have very few bobbleheads around here, but I have a Fonzie bobblehead.
That's amazing.
Well, you have to have that in your house if you I have a picture of me blowing out the candles on my 8th birthday cake with an A shirt. And the only reason my cake wasn't Happy Days is they didn't make those at Silver's Bakery in 1976 at East Point Mall. So I hope everybody gets out and supports this great evening of fun. Anytime I've been at the BHC, they like always welcome me in. I've been over there several times over my 34 plus years now on the radio and 27 years of meeting great people like the Felderstein family from helping me, putting people together. Ethan, shout out. You'll always be 18 and smart to me. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. And we never stop talking. Baltimore, positive.